The Fifth Nail, the blog of a mind unraveling. If you think the scariest corners of the internet lie in the deep web, you're mistaken. Sometimes the most terrifying things sit in plain sight, out in the open, quiet, ordinary, until you look closer. One of those things was a blog called The Fifth Nail. It began around 2003, a small, unremarkable website written by someone who called himself Joe. At first, the posts sounded like ramblings of a man who believed the world had wronged him. He wrote about being accused unfairly, about time spent locked inside a mental hospital, about feeling watched, judged, misunderstood. But as you scroll deeper, the tone changes. Subtly at first, then violently. There was something off in the way he wrote. A twitch beneath the words, a tremor beneath the sentences. Paranoia seeped through every line. Joe spoke of dark forces following him, of eyes that burned through walls, of hands trying to tear apart his soul. And then came the religious delusions, the fragmented metaphors, the fevered hallucinations disguised as revelations. The posts grew scattered, incoherent, like someone muttering to themselves in an empty hallway. By 2005, his writing had become a tangle of fear and mania, spiraling out of control. And then, in May of that year, Joe published his final entry. Just one sentence: the demons have taken over. After that, the blog went silent. Silent until the news broke. In May 2005, in a quiet home in Idaho, horror unfolded. 3 adults from the Groen family were found murdered. 2 children, Shasta and Dylan, had vanished. An entire country held its breath. Weeks later, in a Denny's restaurant, a waitress recognized a little girl from the news. Shasta Groen, alive, traumatized, trembling. Sitting beside her was a man whose face would soon appear on every television in America, Joseph Edward Duncan. And when investigators dug deeper, when they traced his online presence, his computer logs, his writing style, they discovered something chilling. Joseph Duncan was Joe, the author of The Fifth Nail. The man who wrote about demons was the demon who had carried out one of the most horrifying crimes in the nation. He was arrested, later convicted, sentenced to death. In 2021, he died from a brain tumor. His blog vanished shortly after his crimes were revealed, taken offline, erased from public view. At least, that's what everyone believed. But the internet remembers things you wish it wouldn't. Someone noticed that Internet Archive's Wayback Machine had saved the entire blog. Every word, every delusion, every fragment of a collapsing mind, preserved without edits, without filters, without mercy. It exists now like a digital tomb, a psychological autopsy frozen in time, a descent into madness documented accidentally, unintentionally, yet unmistakably. You can still scroll through it, entry by entry, watching Joseph Duncan's grip on reality rot away. It is one of the darkest pieces of digital history ever captured, not because it glorifies evil, but because it shows the terrifying truth of what a collapsing mind can look like before the world discovers the monster it hides. Wayback Machine is often described as a time machine. But in this case, it is a mausoleum, a place where the thoughts of a killer are sealed forever, whispering their cold breath into the ears of anyone curious enough to click Open Archive. A place where a blog, once forgotten, became the chilling psychological record of one of the most disturbing criminals in modern American history. A reminder that sometimes the internet doesn't just preserve information. Sometimes it preserves darkness.